Okay, let's unpack this. Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we are absolutely trading the analytical spreadsheets for the smoking grate.
We are.
We're diving deep into what feels like the ultimate collection of grilling mastery. We have a massive stack of culinary intelligence in front of us. I'm seeing 50 distinct recipes, marinades, and sauces.
It's a truly exhaustive volume of work.
Yeah.
And, our mission here isn't just to read through this list.
Right.
It's to extract the underlying strategies. We're looking for the common threads, the chemical reactions, the timing secrets, the surprising flavor profiles hidden inside all these instructions.
Exactly. It's a global journey, it seems. We're covering everything from, the precise science of steak prep and complex seafood grills all the way to, unexpected dessert finishes.
And an array of sauces that use ingredients you might only expect in, say, a cocktail bar.
Yeah, we're definitely moving beyond just throwing burgers on the grill. We're going deep into the differences between a quick high-acid base and a long overnight soak. We really want to understand how specific, non-traditional ingredients. I'm seeing bourbon, strong black coffee, even condensed tomato soup, how they're used strategically.
To create these really distinct and memorable flavors, we've structured this deep dive to move logically through the culinary process.
Okay.
We'll start with some quick appetizers, foundational steak techniques, and then spend a good amount of time analyzing the chemistry of 8 different sauces.
And then apply those lessons.
Exactly. We'll apply them to specialized proteins, fish, chicken, beef, lamb, before we finish up with an exploration of creative side dishes and, yes, grilled desserts.
This approach should allow you, the listener, to really build a complete strategic playbook for your next backyard cookout. We'll begin where so many great cooks do, with high-heat proteins and quick appetizers, focusing on the preparation precision you need for skewers and steaks. Kicking off this journey with a really vibrant and aromatic start, Asian beef skewers. This dish, it seems to rely entirely on a thoughtful, balanced marinade to transform flank steak. So what are the essential building blocks here for this specific Asian flavor profile?
Well, the foundational protein here is 1.5 pounds of flank steak.
Okay.
And flank steak is prized for its intense beefy flavor, but it's also a relatively tough cut.
Right.
Which is why the marinade and the preparation technique are just absolutely critical to success. The profile is built on a really careful balance of aromatics and primary flavors.
Let's hone in on those aromatics first. What's driving that fresh flavor?
You're relying heavily on 1 tablespoon of minced ginger root and 2 finely chopped garlic cloves.
Okay.
And you pair that with 2 pieces of green onion, also finely chopped. These fresh, volatile compounds, they're the first layer of flavor that penetrates the meat fibers. Without them, the dish just loses its brightness.
And the sauce base itself provides that savory and sweet depth that really defines this style.
That's where the complexity truly emerges. It's a mix that leans heavily on hoisin sauce, 3 tablespoons of it, which gives it that savory sweetness and thick texture. This is balanced by a 1/4 cup of soy sauce for salt and umami, and then 3 tablespoons of sherry, which offers a light, nutty acidity.
Now here's an interesting point I saw. The recipe calls for just 1 teaspoon of BBQ sauce.
Right. It's not a primary flavor source at all.
No.
It's just a subtle booster, likely added for a dash of smoke or maybe some complex tomato acidity to just round out the otherwise pure Asian flavor profile.
It's like a little nod to American grilling, integrated into a classic style. But before any of that marinade even hits the meat, technique is paramount. It's very specific about how the flank steak must be cut.
Precision is mandatory for flank steak. The instructions dictate cutting the steak diagonally across the grain.
Across the grain.
And you're aiming for slices about 1/4 of an inch thick. We should probably pause and talk about the why here. Flank steak has these long, tough muscle fibers. If you cut with the grain, you leave those fibers intact, and you get a chewy, difficult bite.
Right.
Cutting across the grain physically shortens those tough fibers. That guarantees tenderness, once the high heat of the grill rapidly seizes the exterior.
So technique literally dictates texture. And once it's cut, how long do we need for that marinating time for the flavor to really infuse?
Well, given the thickness of the slices, you need adequate time for the acids in the sherry and soy to begin their work. The recipe requires the steak to be refrigerated overnight,
Right. Wow.
or at least 2 full hours minimum. Once it's marinated, the technique returns to high heat. You oil the grate and cook it quickly to your desired doneness, making sure you get a good sear.
Okay, moving to a class friend starter, bacon-wrapped shrimp. This is the definition of simplicity. It's all about the richness of the ingredients.
It's remarkably straightforward. You need 20 large shrimp, already peeled and deveined, and 10 slices of bacon.
And the technique just focuses on securing the whole package.
Right. You wrap each shrimp with half a slice of bacon and secure it with a wooden toothpick. Simple as that.
And the cooking detail emphasizes fat rendering, which makes sense.
Exactly. You want to grill this on moderate heat and make sure the grate is lightly oiled. The goal is to cook it until the bacon is described as well done. If the heat is too high, the shrimp will overcook and get rubbery before the bacon is fully crisped up and rendered its flavor into the meat.
Next, we pivot to kebabs. And we have two very different takes on beef shish kebabs, which I think provides a fantastic contrast between, well, an intensive scratch-made marinade and a really effective shortcut.
It does.
Let's start with version 1, the deep, complex soak.
Okay. Version 1 is a masterclass in building a complex marinade that relies on fat, acid, and sugar for penetration and flavor development.
The liquid base is pretty substantial.
It is. 3/4 of a cup of oil, probably vegetable or canola, and half a cup of soy sauce. The balance comes from 3 tablespoons of honey and 2 tablespoons of vinegar.
That combination of honey and soy is such a classic flavor pairing. It gives you both stickiness for the grill and a deep savory base. What are the key aromatics in this one?
This version uses powdered garlic and ginger, 1½ teaspoons of each, plus 1 chopped green onion.
Powdered. Interesting.
Yeah, and the use of powdered aromatics suggests a desire for deep flavor penetration without the texture of fresh ingredients, which lets the marinade stay smooth. This mixture is designed for 2½ pounds of boneless beef tenderloin, cubed consistently to 1½ inches.
And the commitment to marinating is long.
Absolutely. The instructions say to soak the sirloin. It also mentions tenderloin, so we're aiming for a high-quality cut in the mixture and soak it overnight.
Wow.
This ensures every cube is fully saturated before assembly, and the assembly is quite rich. You alternate the marinated beef with a pound of sliced Polish sausage.
Oh, Polish sausage too.
Yes. 2 red onions, 3 bell peppers, and a drained 8-ounce can of pineapple chunks. The fruit is essential for both flavor and moisture. You load these onto metal skewers and grill for a pretty substantial half hour.
Okay, now compare that to version 2, which is the perfect comparison piece. It demonstrates a really effective shortcut.
Version 2 just strips down the marinade process dramatically by relying on convenience.
Right.
It simplifies the flavoring by using an Italian seasoned mixed salad dressing packet, prepared according to the package instructions.
That's a brilliant shortcut. I mean, salad dressing mixes are already formulated with salt, herbs, fat, and acid.
They are. The key variable is the beef 2 pounds of 1 to 1½ inch thick beef tenderloin steaks. And the marinade time is significantly reduced, though still necessary. 4 hours minimum, but no more than 8.
That minimum time is crucial for the flavors to grab hold, even with a pre-made mix. And the vegetable assortment is just as critical in this version.
It's a beautiful mix for the skewer. 18 whole mushroom tops, 18 diced green peppers, 15 cherry tomatoes, and 12 small onions. These are all alternated with the beef on the skewers before grilling or broiling. The finished product is basically a complete meal, and it's recommended to be served with tossed greens or rice.
Okay, finally in this section, let's explore a unique steak preparation that integrates a really unexpected binder, grilled hamburger steaks. When we hear hamburger steak, we think of ground beef, but this preparation is highly specialized.
This recipe goes far beyond standard ground beef. It transforms 1½ pounds of grounded round steak into a structured patty. The unique binder is 1 ounce of sliced French bread.
And the prep detail is the real insight.
It is. The bread is soaked in water, and then you must press out the excess water before mixing the bread into the beef. This creates a moist but structured binder, and it prevents the steak from becoming crumbly on the grill.
That process of soaking and then squeezing is key. You want the moisture without the sloppy texture. And the herb blend here is extensive. It's designed for layered, deep flavor profiles.
It's a full spectrum of savory herbs. The recipe calls for 2 teaspoons combined of marjoram, oregano, tarragon, and thyme.
Okay.
This is complemented by 2 tablespoons of fresh, finely chopped chives, 2 tablespoons of fresh parsley, half a teaspoon of seasoning salt, and a large egg. All these are thoroughly beaten into the beef mixture.
That combination of those 4 herbs, marjoram, oregano, tarragon, and thyme, it's quite Mediterranean. It gives us a flavor profile that's very distinct from a simple American burger.
Absolutely.
What about the final shaping and cooking technique?
The mixture is shaped into 4 equal-sized patties, each about an inch thick, which is a substantial cut. You grill the patties for a full 15 minutes on each side.
Wow, that's a long cook time.
It is. And a fascinating detail for our listener is the provided low-carb variation. You replace the French bread binder entirely with grounded almonds, which still provide structure and moisture absorption without the carbs.
Very clever. We've moved past the initial prep and are now entering the heart of grilling customization. The 8 distinct sauces outlined here. This is where a deep understanding of flavor chemistry really separates the novice from the master. We start with the simplest. Barbecue sauce for chicken.
This sauce, Recipe 5, is an excellent case study in a high-sugar, quick application based.
Okay.
It's not designed for deep penetration, but for surface caramelization and flavor. The ingredients are simple. 1 cup of ketchup, 3 tablespoons of honey, 1 tablespoon of lemon juice, and a dash of Tabasco hot sauce.
The composition is critical. High sugar from the honey and ketchup, high acid from the lemon juice, and minimal fat. Why is that specific balance so important for chicken?
It's all because of the application timing. You mix it all together and you brush the sauce over the chicken only during the last 15 minutes of cooking.
Ah, the last 15.
Right, seasoning the meat with salt and pepper beforehand. This is the crucial why. The high sugar content, the honey in particular, would rapidly scorch and turn bitter if you applied it any earlier. You wait until the chicken is almost fully cooked to get a perfect, glossy, caramelized exterior without burning the sugars.
Okay, so if the last sauce was about quick sweetness, our next example, the traditional barbecue sauce, Recipe 6, reveals the immense patience required in classic pit mastery. This is a commitment defined by a long, slow transformation.
This recipe is a serious undertaking. It really emphasizes flavor development through extensive, low and slow simmering. You mix all the ingredients, bring it to a boil, and then cook it over a low fire until it becomes thick. The instruction explicitly warns this may take several hours.
Several hours. That extensive cooking time justifies the complexity of the ingredient list, which includes fresh vegetables.
Precisely. The base is 2 cups of ketchup, but the body and texture come from fresh components. 3 cups of chopped onions and 1 cup of chopped sweet pepper. The liquid medium is interesting too. 1 cup of dry white wine, plus 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce, 3 tablespoons of vinegar, and a 1/4 cup of honey. The wine inclusion provides a layer of fermented flavor depth that mere vinegar just can't replicate.
And there's a specific shortcut for that deep, smoky flavor that usually takes a full day in a smoker.
Yes, for spice and depth, we see half a teaspoon of dried mint, 1 tablespoon of chopped garlic, a tablespoon of salt, half a tablespoon of Louisiana hot sauce, and critically, 1 tablespoon of liquid smoke.
Liquid smoke.
That's the key. It's a synthetic way to achieve that deep, authentic BBQ depth and complexity in a stovetop simmer, something you just can't get from short cooking.
Let's look at the basic barbecue sauce next, Recipe 8, which serves as a robust benchmark. It's easier than the long simmer, but more complex than the simple based.
This basic recipe is designed for maximum yield and utility. It starts with a base of 3/4 of a cup of ketchup, 3/4 of a cup of vinegar, 2 cups of water, and 1 cup of finely chopped onions.
And the onions are chopped, not pureed.
Right, meaning they'll break down during cooking to thicken the sauce naturally. Sweetness comes from a 1/4 cup of sugar, balanced by 2 teaspoons of salt.
What gives this sauce its punch?
The spice profile is classic American BBQ, 1 teaspoon of ground black pepper, a teaspoon of Worcestershire, a teaspoon of paprika, and then heat from a dash of ground cayenne or Tabasco. You combine all these, boil them, and then simmer covered for half an hour. The fact that it's covered ensures moisture retention, leading to a thinner, more liquid base, which is why it's explicitly recommended for basting baked or grilled pork ribs, chicken, or pork chops.
Okay, here is where it gets really interesting and unexpected. We mentioned this briefly, but we need to dive into the chemical function of the blackjack barbecue sauce. The name alone hints at something outside the box, and the inclusion of 1 cup of strong black coffee confirms it.
This is a perfect example of utilizing bitter elements for culinary complexity. We're looking at 1 cup of strong black coffee, 1 cup of ketchup, and 1 cup of Worcestershire sauce, forming a very dark, rich base.
You noted earlier that coffee adds bitterness and depth, but let's analyze why that works. Why introduce coffee's acidity and tannins into a grilling sauce?
This is a sophisticated move. Coffee and chocolate, or cocoa batter, used in many Texas dry rubs, contain complex acids and tannins. When these acids hit the meat's surface, they react with the proteins, creating a rich, mahogany-colored crust, or bark.
Oh, interesting.
It's very similar to the effect of smoking. The bitterness of the coffee also cuts through the sweetness provided by the brown sugar and balances the fatty richness of the grilled meat.
What are the other elements that build this robust flavor?
For heat and seasoning, we have 6 minced garlic cloves, a quarter cup of minced chili peppers, 3 tablespoons of chili powder, 2 teaspoons of salt, half a cup of brown sugar, and half a cup of cider vinegar.
Okay.
All these ingredients are mixed and simmered for half an hour. Then the recipe gives you a crucial textural choice. You either puree the sauce for a thick, homogeneous consistency, or you strain it for a thinner, clearer basting sauce.
That choice between pureeing and straining allows the cook to decide if they want a smooth glaze or a chunkier sauce base. Moving on, we have another liquor-infused sauce, barbecue sauce.
This sauce, recipe 15, focuses on the deep, oaky vanilla notes of whiskey, specifically calling for 3/4 of a cup of bourbon. This spirit, high in volatile aromatic compounds, adds complexity without adding excess water. The supporting structure includes half a cup of pure maple syrup, a third of a cup of dark unsulfured molasses, half a cup of fresh orange juice, half a cup of cider vinegar, and 2/3 of a cup of ketchup.
The combination of maple syrup and molasses gives this an incredibly deep, almost earthy sweetness, very distinct from plain sugar. But the prep step involving the onions is where the flavor foundation is really laid.
That 7-minute sauté is non-negotiable. The recipe starts by melting butter and oil over moderate heat. You add 2 minced medium onions and sauté them for a full 7 minutes until they turn golden brown. Exactly. That step transforms the sharp, sulfurous compounds in the onions into sweet, complex sugars, creating a nutty, savory depth that underlies the entire sauce.
So you're building a savory depth before you introduce the sweet and alcoholic liquids.
Precisely. Only after the onions are caramelized do you mix in the rest of the ingredients on reduced heat. You cook until the sauce thickens, about 4 minutes, while stirring often. The final instruction is to serve it warm, maximizing the aroma of the bourbon and spices.
Contrast that complex, warm process with the down south barbecue sauce, a smaller, more efficient batch defined by its brevity.
This recipe, number 25, is designed for efficiency. It yields only 1 cup of sauce. The ingredient profile is remarkably concise. An 8-ounce can of tomato sauce, a third of a cup of molasses, a quarter cup of vinegar, 1 teaspoon of chili powder, 1 minced garlic clove, and standard seasonings.
The function of molasses here is purely for color and deep flavor, given the small amount and the rapid cooking time.
You mix them all in a pan, cook it to a boil, and then reduce it to a low simmer for just 12 minutes. It's intended as a versatile finisher, suitable for chops, ribs, steaks, wieners, or burgers. A key instruction is for oven-baked ribs. You must apply it as a base only during the final cooking hours, which again confirms the risk of scorching due to the molasses.
Next, we look at the easy barbecue sauce, recipe 26, which uses canned goods, but in a very strategic way to achieve rapid texture.
The source relies on a can of condensed tomato soup, specifically a 10 3/4 ounce can, along with an 8-ounce can of tomato sauce. Condensed soup is a brilliant shortcut because it's already highly emulsified and seasoned.
Right.
It ensures quick and reliable thickening without needing flour or extensive reduction.
What flavor boosters are used to elevate this canned tomato base beyond just simple savory notes?
The recipe requires balancing that canned acidity with serious sweetness and spice. Half a cup each of light brown sugar and light molasses, 2 teaspoons of lemon or orange zest, and 2 teaspoons of dry mustard.
Mustard.
Mustard is a great emulsifier and provides a subtle, hot tang. These ingredients, along with seasoned salt, Worcestershire sauce, and vegetable oil, are simmered uncovered for 18 minutes.
And the basting instruction?
Again, the rule of sugar applies. You baste the meat only in the final few minutes, approximately the final 25 minutes of cooking. And the explicit instruction to freeze any leftovers suggests this sauce keeps extremely well, thanks to its high acidity and sugar content acting as natural preservatives.
Finally, before we leave the sauces section, let's analyze the comeback sauce. This is less of a barbecue sauce and more of a robust, savory grill dressing or condiment.
Recipe 21, comeback sauce, is fundamentally a remoulade or a Louisiana-style fry sauce. The base is rich. 1 cup of mayonnaise, a quarter cup of ketchup, a quarter cup of chili sauce, and half a cup of vegetable oil.
That's a high-fat content designed for a cold application. What are the key flavor enhancers?
We see 1 teaspoon of mustard, 1 teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce, 1 teaspoon of black pepper, 2 minced garlic cloves, and a truly unique inclusion, lemon extract from 1 piece of lemon.
Lemon extract, not juice.
Right, which suggests a desire for a very intense, concentrated citrus flavor.
And the preparation involves no heat at all, just mechanical mixing.
Correct. You combine all the ingredients in a container, cover it, shake it vigorously to emulsify the oils and mayonnaise, and then chill it overnight.
And that overnight chill is essential.
It is. It's essential for the flavors to meld and the mixture to fully set. It's perfect with sandwiches and seafood, reflecting its savory, non-sweet profile.
We shift now to the delicate world of fish and seafood. Grilling fish requires incredible speed and precision to prevent drying out. And the basting mixture is often the difference between success and a disaster.
Absolutely.
Starting with barbecued Alaskan salmon steaks.
Salmon is a fatty fish that handles heat well, but it still benefits from a rich, protective baste. The foundation for this marinade is a 1/4 cup of melted butter.
Melted butter.
It ensures the surface remains moist and lubricated on the grill. This fat base is delicately flavored.
What are the primary flavor components mixed into the butter?
It's a classic savory acid balance. 1 tablespoon of freshly squeezed lemon juice, 1½ teaspoons of soy sauce for salt and umami, 1 teaspoon of Lee & Perrins Worcestershire for depth, a crushed small garlic clove, and a 1/4 teaspoon of Tabasco hot sauce for a hint of warmth.
A very subtle heat.
Very. This is a marinade designed to protect the natural oils of the salmon while enhancing its richness.
And the grilling technique hinges on frequent basting.
You gently brush the steaks with the mixture. The instruction is to place the salmon on a moderately hot oiled griddle and grill, basting frequently until the salmon is done. The frequent basting replenishes the butter, keeping the exterior from crusting too quickly and sealing in moisture.
Now, for something that demands absolute focus and extreme heat, blackened fish.
Yes.
This is a high-risk, high-reward technique that requires specific thermal conditions.
The blackened fish technique is less about marinating and more about thermal shock. The fish options are versatile: catfish, cream dory, redfish. But the core requirement is that the fish must be skinned and deboned.
Okay.
The secret is the extreme heat. You must preheat a heavy griddle or cast iron skillet over high heat for 15 to 20 minutes until the pan is very, very hot.
That extended preheat is critical because you're not just heating the pan, you're building up a massive reserve of thermal energy to sustain the cooking process when that cold fish hits the surface.
Exactly. While you're waiting, you prepare the fish by brushing it generously with salted butter, which acts as the heat transfer medium, and then seasoning it heavily with Cajun spice, which forms the blackened crust.
So when the griddle is ready,
You melt 3 tablespoons of butter on it. The butter should immediately fizzle and smoke. And you grill the fish. The cooking time is incredibly fast. Only about 4 to 8 minutes on each side or until the surface turns slightly black. The warning is implicit. This is a race against time to form the crust before the delicate fish muscle is fully cooked through and dry.
moving on to shrimp, we have 5 distinct approaches, highlighting just how versatile this small protein is on the grill. Let's compare them, starting with BBQ shrimp with ponzu sauce.
Recipe 9 for BBQ shrimp with ponzu sauce uses 3 pounds or 30 pieces of shelled and deveined shrimp. This marinade is complex and focuses on high citrus and umami.
What's in it?
It includes a mix of soy sauce, a 1/4 cup of freshly squeezed lime juice, a 1/4 cup of mirin, that's a sweet rice wine, 1 tablespoon of sesame oil, 5 tablespoons of olive oil, 3 tablespoons of fresh ginger, 3 teaspoons of lemon rind, and 3 tablespoons of sugar.
That's a highly sophisticated balance of sweet, sour, and fat. The shrimp are marinated for only 20 minutes before grilling, which suggests this marinade acts primarily as a surface glaze.
Yes, they grill quickly on medium heat until they turn red. The interesting service note here is that they're placed over 2 cups of thinly sliced bok choy, which is first dribbled with some of the marinade.
Oh, that's clever.
It not only adds a fresh vegetable element, but leverages the marinade's complex flavor as a dressing.
Contrast that with bourbon sesame shrimp, which uses liquor again, and a 2-stage grilling process for texture.
This marinade is structurally simpler, relying on the potency of the bourbon. About 1 teaspoon of sesame oil, 1 tablespoon of dark soy, and 1 tablespoon of bourbon whiskey. The half-pound of large shrimps are marinated for 1 to 2 hours. The 2-stage grilling is critical, an initial cook of 3 to 4 minutes per side,
Okay.
followed by a second coat of the whiskey marinade and a sprinkle of sesame seeds. They're then grilled again until the sesame seeds become charred nicely brown, indicating a high-heat caramelization phase.
Next, Don's spicy orange grilled shrimp. This stands out because of its incredibly long marinade time, which suggests deep flavor saturation is the goal.
Recipe 24 requires a long chill time, spanning from 6 up to 24 hours. The liquid base is highly acidic and fatty, 1 cup of fresh lime juice, 1/3 cup of balsamic vinegar, and half a cup of peanut or corn oil.
Wow, a cup of lime juice.
And the sweet and spicy elements are half a cup of marmalade or orange preserves, 2 tablespoons of Tabasco sauce, and 4 chopped jalapeno peppers.
That is a massive volume of acid and heat. How do they prepare this powerful marinade?
The prep involves a gentle heating step first. You heat the oil, lime, and vinegar in a pan set to medium heat. Then you add the marmalade, Tabasco, pepper, and salt, stirring continuously. This heating likely helps dissolve the marmalade and meld the acids.
And then the fresh stuff goes in.
Only after taking it off the heat do you mix in the fresh aromatics. The 4 tablespoons of fresh chopped cilantro and 4 minced garlic cloves, before pouring it over the 2 pounds of cleaned shrimp. The long soak ensures the strong flavors penetrate the shrimp. It's also noted that this marinade is versatile enough for fish or lobsters.
We also have 2 simpler traditional shrimp preparations that focus on immediate flavor payoff. Let's start with grilled shrimp version 1.
Version 1 is the quintessential classic grill flavor. 1/3 cup of olive oil, fresh lemon juice, crushed garlic, and salt.
Can't go wrong.
No. The 2 pounds of large shrimp, tail on, marinate briefly for 1 to 2 hours in the fridge. The grilling time is 12 to 15 minutes, positioned about 5 to 6 inches away from the heat source. And a crucial technical detail is provided. If you broil this instead of grilling, you must remove the tail beforehand.
Version 2, however, contains a fascinating instruction regarding the curing temperature. It breaks the conventional rule of chilling.
Recipe 45, Grilled Shrimp version 2, specifically instructs you to cure the shrimp at room temperature for 3 to 4 hours.
Really?
Yeah. The marinade uses a 1/4 cup of vegetable oil, 2 to 3 tablespoons of fresh lime juice, thinly sliced scallions, chopped parsley, 3 minced garlic cloves, 1 teaspoon of dried basil, and 1 teaspoon of dry mustard.
So what's the logic behind the room temperature soak?
It's likely intended to relax the muscle fibers slightly and allow faster flavor penetration, given that the cooking time is extremely fast. Only 5 to 7 minutes over a charcoal grill, turning once.
Let's look at 2 white fish recipes that use alcohol, starting with the very festive grilled orange Riffy margarita.
This is a celebratory dish using a highly potent alcoholic marinade for 1.5 pounds of fish fillets. The ingredients are essentially a cocktail mixer.
Literally.
Half a cup of triple sec, 1/3 cup of white or gold tequila, and 3/4 cup of freshly squeezed lime juice. You also add vegetable oil, salt, crushed garlic cloves, pepper, and a dash of sugar.
That combination of tequila and triple sec, both high-proof spirits, must act as a rapid surface tenderizer. How long did the fillets soak?
The fillets are marinated in a single layer at room temperature for an hour, or inside the fridge for no more than 3 hours, turned occasionally. The limited time is key. Too long in that high acid alcohol environment would cook the fish, ceviche style, before it even hits the grill.
And the brilliant move is utilizing the marinade after it's done its job.
That's the critical component.
Yeah.
You grill the fish quickly over high heat, and you do not throw the marinade away.
Yeah.
You boil the marinade for a minute or 2. This pasteurizes it and drives off the raw alcohol. Then you sieve out the garlic, discard it, and use that strained, concentrated liquid to baste the fish when cooked.
That's fantastic.
It's served with a fresh side, a tomato salsa made from diced tomatoes, minced jalapeno or serrano chili, and chopped fresh cilantro.
We have 2 salmon preparations that highlight different cultural influences, grilled salmon or tuna steaks versus grilled teriyaki salmon.
Okay, recipe 43, grilled salmon or tuna steaks, uses 1-inch thick steaks. Scratch marinade leans on olive oil, a 1/4 cup of cooking wine or sherry, a 1/4 cup of tamari or soy sauce, lemon juice, lemon zest, and 1 small crushed garlic clove.
And the soak time?
1 to 2 hours, turned frequently. They grill on medium heat for 5 to 6 minutes, basting frequently.
The teriyaki version, as we noted, is deceptively simple, but reveals a key technical shortcut.
While it uses bottled teriyaki marinade for a 1-hour soak, the insight is in the cooking. Bottled teriyaki and glades are generally high in sodium and high in sugar. The instruction is to grill the fillets on hot grids. And critically, the grill hood is not covered. You flip the fillet every 5 minutes for approximately 20 minutes. The open hood prevents the high sugar content from steaming the fish. Instead, the surface caramelizes and crisps rapidly. You brush the glaze and sprinkle fresh dill near the end for aroma.
Finally, the elegant grilled swordfish with tomato chutney, a dish where the complexity lies entirely in the fresh accompaniment.
Swordfish or halibut is the protein of choice here, 6 to 8 ounces, 1 inch thick. The chutney is built for freshness. 1 cup of seeded and chopped tomato, olive oil, chopped scallions or a small leek, a 1/4 cup of fresh basil, and 1 tablespoon of drained capers.
And the process.
It involves cooking the leeks in oil until tender first, achieving that baseline sweetness, and then taking the pan off the heat to add the remaining chutney ingredients, simply covering to keep warm.
So the fish technique is straightforward, focusing on a rapid, uncovered cook.
You pat the fish dry, brush both sides with 2 teaspoons of olive oil, and grill uncovered for 8 to 12 minutes. The lack of covering ensures a nice crust forms. You cut the steak in half and serve it immediately with the warm tomato chutney on top.
Chicken is the perennial grilling staple, but these sources reveal diverse techniques, from high sugar soaking to rotisserie basting and complex layering. We start with barbecue chicken wings, which uses a massive sweet marinade, but skips the grill entirely.
Right. This marinade, designed for 20 to 25 wings, is an intensive overnight soak. It combines 1 cup of white sugar, 1 cup of soy sauce, 1 cup of room temperature water, a 1/4 cup of sweetened pineapple juice, a 1/4 cup of corn oil, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, and 1 teaspoon of ginger.
That's a huge ratio of sugar and soy sauce, ensuring deep osmotic flavor exchange overnight. But the cooking instruction is the biggest surprise here, given the title.
Yes, the source specifies that the wings should be arranged inside a broiler and baked for 45 minutes at 350 degrees Fahrenheit, turning them frequently.
So it's basically a baked wing recipe using a grilling-style marinade.
It is. The controlled lower oven temperature is likely necessary to manage the huge sugar content and prevent the wings from scorching before they're fully cooked.
Moving to a classic application for gritting chicken pieces. Chicken marinade, recipe 19. This is the simple high-acid soak.
This recipe is a simple citrus and herb soak meant for 2 to 3 pounds of chopped chicken. The marinade itself consists of half a cup of lemon juice, a 1/4 cup of vegetable oil, 2 tablespoons of minced onion, 1 tablespoon of chopped parsley, a 1/4 teaspoon of paprika, and a dash of salt and pepper.
Okay.
The fat-to-acid ratio here is high, indicating the oil is meant to protect the meat from the aggressive lemon juice while keeping it moist.
And the chilling instructions are unique. Why chill the marinade before adding the chicken?
You combine all the ingredients, cover the container, and chill the mixture for half an hour before adding the chicken. This pre-chill ensures the flavors have fully integrated and the mixture is cold when the chicken is introduced, maintaining food safety. Once the chicken is in the marinade, you chill it for at least 5 hours to ensure maximum flavor penetration. And of course, the safety note to discard the marinade after use is standard practice.
Next, a specific technique for whole birds. Chicken on the spit, featuring the legendary beer baste. This is about rotisserie physics and flavor capture.
The rotisserie method requires high heat for a long duration, 1.5 hours. You season the chicken liberally, including the cavity, with pepper, salt, garlic, and parsley. The key flavor element comes from the setup, a base that sits below the meat, capturing the aromatic drippings.
Tell us about the beer baste itself.
The sauce combines 12 ounces of beer, 12 ounces of room temperature water, and half a cup of butter, seasoned again with pepper, parsley, garlic, and salt.
And you put that right under the chicken.
Right below the cooking meat, catching all those flavorful fats and juices. The instruction to baste frequently, specifically every 20 minutes, is crucial, as the evaporating alcohol and fat keep the skin crisp and the meat moist.
And the bonus of this method is the integrated gravy creation.
It's highly efficient. To make the gravy, you collect the drippings from the meat with the base sauce, the fat, the beer, the butter, the seasoning are all there, and you simply add just enough flour for the consistency you prefer. It's maximum utilization of all the flavor.
Now, deviled chicken utilizes a very specific dry mustard-based technique that involves complex layering and pre-grilling. This is a multi-step preparation.
This is a sophisticated textural dish. The core flavor is generated from a paste made by stirring 1/3 cup of white wine and half a cup of Coleman's dry mustard together and letting it rest for 10 minutes.
And that rest period is important.
It allows the dry mustard to hydrate and release its pungent, sharp flavor compounds.
How do they apply this paste to the chicken?
You flatten 4 halved chicken breast fillets. Brush them gently with vegetable oil and season them. The unique part is the pre-grill. You cook each side for just 1 minute, then remove them.
Just a minute.
Right. This brief initial grill just sets the protein structure. Next, you brush the sides with the mustard paste, coat them with soft breadcrumbs, and drizzle peanut oil, 3/4 of a cup total, over the coated fillets.
So you're creating a structural layer, the breadcrumbs that is held in place by the oil and paste.
Precisely. You return the chicken to the grill and cook until slightly brown, flip, drizzle more oil, and cook until done. This process ensures the breadcrumbs crisp up, forming a protective, crunchy crust infused with mustard flavor, and it prevents the chicken from drying out.
Let's move to a seasonal specialty, grilled chicken breasts with apple pear salsa. This highlights how grilling can be used to complement a fresh, complex side dish.
This recipe focuses on a sweet and acidic marinade for 4 filleted and halved chicken breasts. It requires 2/3 cup of olive oil, half a cup of apple juice, half a cup of pear nectar, 1/3 cup of dry white wine, 1 tablespoon of soy sauce, and 2 tablespoons of fresh, finely chopped cilantro.
And they intentionally reserve some of this liquid before the chicken goes in.
Yes, you whisk all ingredients together and reserve half a cup in a separate covered bowl for later basting.
Smart.
The chicken marinates in the remaining liquid for about 4 hours up to a full day, and then the marinade is discarded. Reserving the baste ensures you have a clean, safe glaze for the final moments of cooking.
The salsa components must echo those marinade flavors.
They absolutely do. The salsa combines 2 medium Granny Smith apples and 2 medium Bosc pears, both finely diced, with a diced small red onion, 2 tablespoons of fresh lime juice, 2 tablespoons each of apple juice and pear nectar, 2 tablespoons of light brown sugar, and a 1/4 cup of fresh chopped cilantro. It's a complex, sweet, savory, and tart accompaniment. The chicken is grilled for 5 to 7 minutes on each side, basted with a reserved marinade.
Finally, a truly surprising summer combination, grilled chicken with melon in pasta shells. This is an assembly dish based on a grilled protein.
This creates a unique cold storage filling. 2 clean chicken breast fillets are seasoned, grilled, cooled, and then cut into small pieces.
Okay.
These are combined with half a piece of diced cantaloupe, 1 chopped mango, 1 teaspoon of Dijon mustard, 2 tablespoons of lime juice, a 1/4 cup of sour cream, and 1 tablespoon of minced chives. The sour cream and mustard provide the rich binding element.
And then you just stuff the shells.
This refreshing, sweet, and savory mixture is then used to stuff 6 cooked shell pasta pieces for presentation.
We transition now to heavier proteins, starting with the true specialty, buffalo steaks with grilled mushroom and garlic gravy BBQ. This is an elaborate multi-step process for elevating a lean, gamey protein like buffalo.
Recipe 16 requires a strategic approach to tenderizing and flavoring the 10-ounce buffalo steaks. Buffalo is much leaner than beef, so protecting it from drying out is crucial.
Right.
The prep starts with rubbing the 4 steaks with a mixture of peanut oil and soy sauce, combined with a high-intensity, earthy rub built around 1 teaspoon of cardamom, plus paprika, onion powder, and pepper. They are sealed and chilled for about 3 hours.
The gravy component is what makes this dish gourmet, especially the requirement to grill the mushrooms first.
I have to pause here. We're talking about a multi-step gravy where the 2 3-ounce portobello mushrooms are soaked in a lemon pepper, olive oil, and salt mixture. And then they are grilled for 9 minutes on moderate heat.
You grill the mushrooms for the gravy?
Yes. Grilling the mushrooms imparts a smokiness and a distinct, meaty texture that traditional sautéing simply cannot achieve. They are then diced and set aside.
So you have a gravy base that's infused with grilled flavor before the liquid is even added?
Exactly. Onions and 6 to 8 finely chopped garlic cloves are sautéed in the remaining olive oil. Next, half a cup of red wine is added and reduced until it is fully evaporated.
Concentrating the flavor.
Right. Finally, the diced grilled mushroom and 1½ cups of brown gravy, likely a pre-made or quick stock gravy, are added, mixed, and cooked on low fire for 16 minutes. This is a serious flavor commitment. The buffalo steaks are then cooked hot and fast for 10 to 16 minutes on high heat.
Let's discuss the ultimate handheld food, burgers. We have the extra special burgers, a masterclass in the structural complexity of a stuffed patty.
This recipe uses 1 pound of ground beef, seasoned with garlic salt, soy sauce, pepper, salt, and garlic. The mix is thoroughly combined, and 8 patties are molded to be equal in size and thin enough to accommodate the filling.
The filling is a classic rich and savory core, ensuring maximum decadence.
The filling is 6 pieces of crumbled fried bacon, 1 to 2½ ounces of drained mushrooms, 1 teaspoon of dried parsley, and 3/4 cup of grated cheddar cheese. This mixture is evenly distributed over 4 of the patties, which are then topped with the remaining 4 patties. You must take care to seal the edges completely to prevent the cheese from escaping. Then they're chilled until they're set for grilling.
The source also provides fantastic strategic variations on this stuffed theme.
The concept is completely adaptable. For Reuben burgers, you replace the mushroom mix with a filling of 1 cup of shredded cheese and 6 teaspoons of well-drained sauerkraut.
The sauerkraut's acidity would be a fantastic counterpoint to the beef fat.
It would. For blue cheeseburgers, the preferred mix is half a cup of crumbled blue cheese and a 1/4 cup of cubed sweet pickle, intended for 4 persons.
Next, the grilled all-American burgers, which focuses not on stuffing but on a separately prepared sauce applied strategically at the very end.
This recipe specifies 1 pound of lean ground beef, simply mixed with a 1/4 teaspoon each of salt and pepper and molded into 3/4-inch thick patties. The sauce is the star.
What's in it?
2 tablespoons of ketchup, 1 tablespoon each of steak sauce and Worcestershire, 1 teaspoon of white sugar, half a teaspoon of Tabasco, oil, vinegar, and aromatics like onion and garlic.
And the sauce's preparation ensures it's highly concentrated before basting.
You combine all sauce ingredients in a saucepan, bring it to a boil, and simmer uncovered for 5 minutes. This reduction concentrates the flavors and creates a thick glaze.
Okay.
The patties are grilled under a covered hood for 20 to 25 minutes or until the temperature reaches 160 degrees Fahrenheit. The key is application. Brushing occasionally with the sauce when the meat is almost done, ensuring a final glossy glaze without premature burning.
We have another take on the hamburger steak, recipe 34, incorporating starches right into the mix for bulk and moisture.
The meat mixture for this steak is unique, incorporating half a cup of cooked rice, a 1/4 cup of chopped green bell pepper, and a 1/4 cup of onion, seasoning, and 2 teaspoons of parsley.
So the rice absorbs moisture.
Right. It absorbs moisture released by the beef and vegetables during cooking, keeping the internal structure very tender. They are shaped into 4 1-inch thick patties and grilled for 15 minutes per side.
And the tangy sauce is cooked entirely separately to provide a dipping element.
The sauce combines 2/3 cup of water, a 1/4 cup of ketchup, 2 tablespoons of chili sauce, half a teaspoon of beef bouillon, 1 teaspoon of Worcestershire, a 1/4 teaspoon of crushed dried basil leaf, and garlic powder. You heat this mixture on medium-low until it reduces and becomes thick, a rich, savory gravy designed to top the hearty rice and beef patties.
Let's quickly cover the pork items. Easy grilled pork chops and grilled spare ribs. The chops use a simple rub, followed by a separate sauce application.
For easy grilled pork chops, you rub salt on 6 1-inch thick chops and grill them on moderate heat for half an hour, turning only once.
Okay.
The separate sauce is a mix of onion, water, tomato sauce, Tabasco, ketchup, vinegar, sugar, salt, and Worcestershire, boiled and simmered for 20 minutes. After grilling the chops halfway, you baste them, grill 7 minutes, flip, baste the next side, and grill for 7 minutes more.
The spare ribs technique, recipe 46, uses a key preparatory step to ensure tenderness before they even touch the grill.
That pre-boiling is essential for 4 pounds of pork ribs. They are boiled in a large pot with 1 teaspoon of Italian herbs, basil, oregano, thyme, and rosemary, for 30 to 35 minutes, then drained.
Par cooking.
Yes, this par cooking step breaks down collagen and ensures the ribs are tender before they hit the high heat of the grill.
And the reduction glaze that finishes them off.
The glaze is prepared by boiling 1 cup of red dry wine, 1/3 cup of ketchup, soy sauce, 2 tablespoons of honey, minced garlic, salt, and sugar until the liquid is reduced by half.
So a very sticky, concentrated glaze.
Very. You grill the ribs for approximately 20 minutes, turning and basting frequently until they are fully glazed and brown, leveraging the high sugar content for shine and texture.
Our final entry in this section is the truly gourmet item, grilled rack of lamb with plum glaze. This is an ambitious pairing of rich meat and fruit-based acidity.
The plum glaze is magnificent, relying on the natural pectin and acidity of the fruit. It starts with 1 pound of quartered and pitted freedom plums. They're cooked gently in a saucepan with 2 tablespoons of sugar, 2 teaspoons of lime juice, 1½ teaspoons of red wine vinegar, 1 teaspoon of pure honey, and 1 thinly sliced jalapeno pepper.
That inclusion of the fresh jalapeno is a classic way to introduce subtle heat that only blooms when cooked with sugar and acid.
The mixture cooks for about half an hour until the plums soften and the juice thickens slightly. The final step is crucial: straining the mixture and discarding the solids, leaving a perfectly smooth, clear glaze.
And the lamb.
For the 3½ pound lamb rack, you rub it with salt and pepper and foil the exposed bones to prevent them from scorching. You cook the lamb for 5 minutes with the fat side down to render the fat. Then you brush the glaze, flip it over, and continue brushing occasionally. For a rear temperature, you aim for 135 degrees Fahrenheit internally, which takes 10 to 12 minutes, followed by a 10-minute rest.
We've reached the final section, focusing on sides, vegetables, and the surprising fact that you can use a grill to finish a dessert. Starting with the unexpected dessert grill, baked Alaska.
This is a classic dish that uses the grill as a high-heat, rapid broiler. You prepare 4 chiffon or sponge cake shells, top them with 4 large scoops of any flavor sherbet, and freeze them until rock solid.
The dessert is dependent on the protective layer of meringue. How is that prepared?
The meringue is standard stiff peak prep. You beat 3 egg whites and a 1/4 teaspoon of cream of tartar until frothy. Then you slowly add 6 tablespoons of white sugar while continuously beating. When stiff, you blend in 1/2 teaspoon of pure vanilla extract.
And the most important part for grilling
is ensuring you completely cover the frozen cake and sherbet with the meringue, forming an absolute seal to insulate the frozen core.
Using a moderately low-heat grill to brown meringue sounds incredibly risky. What specific control mechanisms do the sources recommend to prevent burning the sugar or melting the sherbet before the meringue sets?
The control comes from timing and preheating. You preheat the grill for 10 minutes to achieve consistent, moderate low heat. Then, you place the cakes on a baking sheet and bake them on that moderate low heat with the cover down for only 3 to 5 minutes or until the meringue has browned.
That's it, 3 to 5 minutes.
That's it. This short, intense burst of convection heat is just enough to caramelize the sugar on the surface without the heat penetrating the frozen core. You must serve it right away.
That's a wonderful piece of culinary physics. Let's look at 2 grilled fruits, starting with grilled peaches.
For grilled peaches, you use 1 peach per person, cut in half with the pit removed. The fruit is lightly prepared with 2 teaspoons of lime juice distilled over them. The magic, however, is in the sauce, which relies on a vinegar reduction.
We see vinegar being used again, but for a dessert application this time.
Indeed. Inside a saucepan, you mix 1/2 cup of sherry or balsamic vinegar, a 1/4 cup of brown sugar, the remainder of the lime juice, and a 1/4 teaspoon of freshly cracked black pepper.
Interesting.
You cook this until it thickens, but is reduced by half. The reduction process concentrates the sweet, savory, and tart flavors. The peaches are grilled cut side down on a well-oiled hot grill for 2 minutes until grill marks appear. Then turned, basted with the vinegar dressing, and covered for 3 minutes more until they reach a soft consistency.
And grilled pineapple, which uses a completely unexpected spice curry powder.
The pineapple is sliced crosswise into 6 slices 3/4 of an inch thick. The base uses 1 tablespoon of melted butter, 1 tablespoon of brown sugar, and a very small 1/8 of a teaspoon of curry powder.
Just a tiny bit.
Right. This minute amount of curry powder adds an aromatic, complex warmth that shifts the flavor profile away from pure fruit. You grill the slices over moderate coals, uncovered, for 6 to 8 minutes, turning once and brushing with the sauce twice. It's served with non-fat vanilla yogurt mixed with toasted coconut.
Now for the vegetable sides, starting with the 2 corn methods, corn in the shuck and grilled corn on the cob with bacon.
The shuck method is a self-steaming technique. You clean the corn, pull the husks down, remove the silk, smear the kernels with butter or margarine, and sprinkle with salt.
And then pull the husks back up.
Exactly. You reposition the husks and secure them. The husks act as a natural pouch, trapping moisture. You grill the ears over medium heat for 20 minutes, turning often until the corn is tender.
Contrast that with the bacon bits method.
For the bacon bits method, you first fully remove the husks and silk and soak the shucked corn in cool water for 20 minutes. This pre-soak ensures the kernels are saturated and less likely to burn. You smear 100 grams of melted butter on each ear, then grill them for 20 to 25 minutes. The corn is served with chopped chives and cooked bacon bits sprinkled alongside, maximizing texture and salty richness.
Next, grilled Japanese eggplant, a fast side due to the specific variety used.
Japanese eggplant is chosen because its thin skin allows it to be roasted whole, making the meat on the inside seep with delicious juices while the skin darkens delightfully.
And the prep is simple.
Very. You coat the 6 eggplants with olive oil and 1 teaspoon of minced garlic, then season with salt and pepper. They cook on high heat, turning frequently for only 5 to 6 minutes. The quick cook time is crucial. You want the interior creamy, not mushy.
We also have a recipe for new potatoes that uses a crucial pre-boil step and then a final toss.
You start by boiling 3 pounds of skinned red potatoes until they are tender. Having the potatoes and tossing them in 4 tablespoons of olive oil creates maximum surface area for grilling. They are grilled for 5 minutes on medium-high heat, turning occasionally. Once grilled, you toss them in a bowl with 3 tablespoons of grated Parmesan cheese, 3 tablespoons of chopped parsley, 2 tablespoons of fresh chopped oregano, and 1 cup of thinly sliced onion leeks. The heat of the potatoes wilts the herbs and leeks just enough to release their flavor.
For mushrooms, we have 2 approaches, starting with the large grilled portobello mushrooms.
For 12 large portobello mushrooms, the stems are removed. The dressing is a mix of 3 tablespoons each of melted butter or margarine and olive oil, 3 crushed garlic cloves, pepper, and 1 tablespoon of lime juice.
Okay.
You have the caps and brush them evenly. You grill them stem side down for 8 minutes, then roll them, baste the tops, and continue grilling for 8 minutes more until they are soft and the outside skin is charred. The high-fat baste prevents the mushrooms from drying out.
And the more intricate grilled stuffed mushrooms.
This uses 24 medium-sized caps. The filling is a classic roux-based mixture. The stems are cooked with onion and margarine. You mix in flour, crushed dried marjoram, pepper, and a 1/4 cup of dry white wine or sherry, stirring until the mixture becomes thick. Then you mix in 1/2 cup of finely chopped cooked ham and 1 tablespoon of snipped parsley.
That ham mixture becomes a savory, concentrated stuffing. How is this delicate stuffing cooked on the grill?
You stuff the caps. Then, you place all the prepared mushrooms in aluminum foil, pour the remainder of the margarine or butter over them, fold the foil to seal all edges, and grill for up to 20 minutes.
So it's a foil pouch.
Yes, the foil pouch creates a sealed, high-humidity environment, ensuring the caps and stuffing steam gently until fully heated without drying or scorching.
The final stuffed side is grilled stuffed squash, which strategically uses both baking and grilling.
This is an elaborate winter squash preparation. You cut 4 medium-sized winter squash across the length, de-seed them, and smear all sides with melted butter, salt, and pepper. They are baked cut side, facing down at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 40 minutes until they are tender.
So a lengthy bake to soften it up.
Right. It ensures the tough squash flesh softens entirely.
And the filling is sweet and crunchy, added only for the final grill stage.
While the squash is baking, you mix the filling. 3 cups of diced unpeeled apples, 1½ cups of packed light brown sugar, a 1/4 cup of chopped peanuts, a 1/4 teaspoon of grounded nutmeg, and the remaining butter. You loosely fill the baked squash cavities with the mixture and grill them over hot coals, about 5 inches above the heat, for approximately 20 minutes or until the apple blend is thoroughly heated.
And the grill provides that intense direct heat to caramelize the sugar and apples quickly.
Exactly.
We have 2 final miscellaneous sides, camp bread and cheese stuffed brats.
Camp bread is meant for a Dutch oven, essentially turning it into a campsite convection oven. It uses a 16-ounce package of hot roll mix, augmented with 1 tablespoon of fresh crushed basil and 1/2 cup of shredded Parmesan cheese.
Okay.
You use half the Parmesan with the dry ingredients, press the dough into a greased Dutch oven, score it, and sprinkle the remaining Parmesan. It's baked using 8 to 10 hot coals surrounding the edge and 10 to 12 hot coals on the lid for 20 to 25 minutes.
And the cheese-stuffed brats are the ultimate quick, rich indulgence.
For your pure efficiency. You take 5 fully cooked bratwurst or knockwurst and slit them lengthwise. You insert a strip of Monterey Jack cheese and sliced green onions into the slit. Each is wrapped with 1 slice of bacon and fastened with toothpicks.
Crucially.
You cook them on a grilling rack with the cheese facing up, covering the hood for 5 to 10 minutes until the cheese melts and the bacon is crispy.
Finally, let's end this section with the high-end seafood dish, grilled lobster and lentil salad.
This is a sophisticated main course featuring 4 8 to 10 ounce fresh lobster tails. The marinade is minimal. Vegetable oil, lime or lemon juice, and a 1/4 teaspoon of dried tarragon. The lobster only needs to marinate for 20 minutes. The fat from the oil keeps it moist, and the acid tenderizes the surface before grilling for 8 minutes. The grilled lobster is then sliced thinly.
And the accompanying lentil salad provides the rich, earthy contrast.
The salad uses 2 cups of dried lentils, cooked with water and bay leaves. You sauté chopped onion, garlic, green and red bell peppers, and blanched carrots in olive oil. You add red wine vinegar and spices pepper, salt, nutmeg, and Tabasco sauce, along with the cooked lentils. The acidity of the vinegar cuts through the earthy richness of the lentils.
And the final dish is plated how?
By placing the sliced grilled lobster above the arranged salad.
What an incredible, detailed journey through 50 distinct grilling methodologies. We covered everything from quick room-temperature shrimp marinades to incredibly complex multi-stage dishes like buffalo steaks with homemade grilled mushroom gravy. More importantly, we analyzed the strategy behind each recipe.
The sheer versatility demonstrated here is the biggest takeaway. We saw that marinades are chemically adaptable, shifting from high-acid soaks to high-fat protection, depending on the protein and the desired cook time.
Right.
The rules for flavor application are clear. Long simmering is essential for deep, traditional BQ sauces, while sweeter glazes must be reserved for the final moments to achieve perfect caramelization without burning.
And the grill is proven to be a truly versatile tool, capable of intense high-speed cooking like the baked Alasta with its 3-minute meringue browning and slow, low, and indirect heat cooking, like the stuffed squash that requires pre-baking, filling, and then a controlled finish over coal.
If we synthesize the most surprising culinary insights, we must look at the unexpected ingredients that fundamentally altered the final product.
Yes.
The utilization of strong black coffee in the blackjack BBQ sauce wasn't just for novelty. It was a strategy to build a complex, bitter bark. Similarly, the inclusion of tequila and triple sec in the grilled orange Ruffy margarita marinade shows a deliberate use of spirits for their rapid, acidic, tenderizing effects.
So what does this deep dive mean for your approach to the flame?
It challenges the assumption that grilling is solely about simple, savory flavors. If this exhaustive source material proves that ingredients like bourbon, coffee, margarita liquor, sherry vinegar, and curry powder can be successfully incorporated into bastes, glazes, and rubs to create unique, complex profiles, then the door is wide open for innovation.
So our final provocative thought for you is this. Considering the success of these unexpected additions, what savory or sweet ingredient currently confined to your pantry, perhaps a specialty tea, an obscure liqueur, or an intensely fermented condiment, are you willing to experiment with on your grill this weekend to achieve a truly unique flavor profile? It's time to break the mold.